Yo, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at Music Snob's 80s metal band tier list. And I'll give my opinions as well. So let's get right into it.
The 80s. It seems like the further we get away from them, the more people want to revisit them, and the more apparently cringe they become. It was the time when we really started experimenting with like home computing and shit like that. Everyone either wore a sleeveless leather jacket and was some type
Is
of
that Hot
asshole who
Shot
smoked
or
cigarettes,
Weird Al?
or all the other nerdy people were some type of home
Power,
hacker, some dumb shit.
Power
But
Glove?
cringy or otherwise, you gotta admit that many of the metal and rock bands of the 80s kind of formed what that sound would be from there on out. Laying
Definitely.
the groundwork that would bridge us between the hard rock and classic rock of the 70s
Led
and take us
Zeppelin?
into this new age of, well, more bullshit in the 2000s. We're going to be
Limp
dropping a bunch
Bizkit?
of these assholes into a bunch of different tiers. But before we do that, I want to tell you guys about Night School. Night School is my membership service where you can take your the other player of using tech, focus, recipe editing, where we parts is to instantly be a better
sake is the sound.
Songs are not so embarrassing to Kate the exact same track right
Okay.
gear rated number cable. The best
Okay, dude.
single player.
It's okay, dude.
Feedback by subscribing the night. Love watching and content for you. Again, go to www. Let's do this damn tier list. First up, we got Anthrax. And Anthrax would be a great name.
Pretty good band. One of the big four in metal. So for me, I haven't listened to them that much, but what I've heard, I've enjoyed. So maybe C for me.
If it was synonymous with ear cancer. Their productions are so bright and so harsh. Their songwriting fucking sucks. There isn't one melody that I remember. I'm not particularly impressed with any of their riffs.
I guess
maybe they had great
he has
solos.
a point.
I don't even remember. The PTSD is too strong. Black Sabbath, voted the best band to launch your more successful solo career from.
I'd
Their
probably
entire
put
legacy is very.
I'd probably put it on B. I haven't heard enough of them, but I have of course heard some songs and albums and stuff. It's been a while, so of course they're known for Ozzy Osbourne, Tommy Iommi, and Dio. But I don't find their style that interesting.
Important. I understood. They were the first metal band. You fucking jerk me off some more. It's basically dark classic rock. Let's call it what the fuck it is. It's classic rock that's spooky boy Halloween time. And as much as I love Dio's voice, their entire catalog through the 80s was pretty fucking shit. I've listened to a number of those tracks, and I can't remember a single fucking thing that was played. They get a C because it's not absolutely unlistenable, although their production style wasn't fabulous on all the albums. The only thing consistently interesting about Black Sabbath is the vocalists. Def Leppard, I'll give them an A. And also...
Def Leppard, I'm not sure, but their sound is definitely more modern. For me, probably B.
Can we finally admit that Def Leppard is a cringe fucking name? What the fuck does a leopard have to do with anything?
It kind of sounds cool.
Ever. It's the least fierce cat right above the lynx. And being deaf doesn't make it any cooler. It makes it substantially more awkward. How would a deaf leopard hunt and therefore be dangerous? It's either their most important or second most important sense that they use to survive. So by calling yourself a deaf leopard, you are evoking the imagery of this useless, emaciated cat who hasn't fucking eaten in months. Will probably get its ass kicked because it won't hear a predator approaching. It's like naming your band Crippled Horse or like Lymphoma Gorilla or Limp Bizkit. Regardless of how fucking stupid that name is, the production was always top-notch with Mutt Lange. Holy moly. That man pioneered so many things that are still used to this day. It's absolutely incredible. While I haven't fallen in love with a ton of their songwriting, I have to admit they are very good writers and are interesting writers at very least. They had some awesome riffs and solos, gotta give them that. And the fucking vocalist, I forget the guy's name, son of a bitch. I don't care, he's a fucking great vocalist, he's excellent.
I don't remember either.
Dio, he's like your uncle.
Dio, probably B as well, as in Has he the same as Black Sabbath?
Fair and is way too into Halloween. I think Dio had like 2 songs that I really enjoyed, and the rest of them I really wasn't turned on by. His voice is always a joy to hear because he like pours himself 1,000% into it.
That's
every
true.
time. Sometimes it's not always the most appropriate thing that the
I do love Dio's vocals, and he has some super cool songs, but overall I don't think it's that memorable or a new enough sound to be that excited about, I guess. It kind of just sounds like classic metal.
the song is calling for. In the right context, Dio hits great every fucking time. The only thing good about Dokken was George Lynch. Next,
Dokken, I'll probably put them in C
Guns N'
as well.
Roses, definitely.
Guns N' Roses for me, probably a Slash, so good. Axl Rose used to be so good. And also Ron Bumblefoot Thal played in Guns N' Roses a while. He was sick at guitar. But of course Slash melodic playing is way more popular and more easily digestible.
Could have kicked Motley Crue's ass. Axl Rose has a unique voice, and the older I get, the more I kind of get annoyed by it, to be completely frank. And the deeper you go into their catalog, the more you realize, oh, this dude's just a whiny cunt. Well, I think Slash worship has kind of fallen out of vogue, thankfully. I still think Slash is an absolutely outstanding guitarist. He's a very beautiful musical player, and he wrote some freaking great riffs. He's a really interesting riff writer. I would bump them from B to A if I didn't cringe the deeper I go into their catalog. It's fucking painful. All right, Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi, kind of want to give them an S almost, just for the heck of it, but I'd give them an A. They're just so fun songs, and they're kind of badass.
Could have kicked Motley Crue's ass. I was actually tempted to put Bon Jovi in A tier, and I don't fucking care how you feel about that. His lyrics can get so obnoxiously fucking cringe that it needs to be downgraded to B tier. As a melody guy, as a dude who has a vision and wants to bring a production to life through song, I think he is very excellent. He has an interesting, identifiable voice, even though a lot of people find him annoying. One of the reasons why
really, his voice is so cool.
They find him annoying is because the melodies he writes get stuck in your fucking head. And I don't know that Richie Sambora gets enough love. Next up, Iron Maiden.
That's true. Richie Sambora definitely needs more love. Iron Maiden is S, of course.
S tier. It's not even a fucking question. The same dudes who give pop music shit for only using 4 chords give these guys a pass for only using 3.
Yeah, E, D, and H, I guess. E, D, and C. Yeah. They always play the gallop in E, D, and C.
Saying, does Iron Maiden have cringe? Yeah. A substantial amount of it, I would say. If I had to compare Iron Maiden's actually excellent songs as a ratio against the number of crap songs that they have, they would definitely go down to an A tier. If we're just talking about the raw number of awesome songs that they have, it's got to be S tier, and that happened mostly through the 80s. I've been saying for years that I think Iron Maiden is the world's biggest underground band, and a lot of people don't get what I'm saying when I say that. It's like, yes, they do sell out stadiums, and it's nuts, but it's also the fact that there's so many normies out there in the music world who have no idea who Iron Maiden is. It is pretty wild the level of success they've been able to achieve without ever being a household name. I am actually very admirable of that. Judas Priest, the only band gayer than...
Judas Priest, probably A. For me, they are a staple, and they're so awesome. And good guitar solos, yeah, dude.
Bon Jovi.
Singer Rob Halford, so good when he sings in a light voice, in his lighter voice.
I have zero hate for Judas Priest, but I really don't love Judas Priest. There's like one song I really like, and it's Painkiller, and that wasn't the 80s. I know they're extremely important in a formative metal band, and like they started in the 70s. Like I get
maybe if it's if it is in the 80s, maybe B, but it's hard
the whole history. And absolute props to Rob Halford, even though his head voice can be a little weird, it's very distinct and it's very powerful. The dude is obviously a super talented vocalist, and Glenn
Definitely.
Tipton's just annihilates on the guitar. There's a lot of things to compliment these guys for. They're only going lower on the list because I don't particularly have an understanding of why people love them. I was wrong. There is a gayer band than Judas Priest, and that band is Kiss. I think
Kiss? Is that actually Kiss? Kiss is an S, I think. They're just too good when they hit, and when they actually hit when they hit with a hit, like Detroit Rock City or I Was Made for Loving You, Beth. All those songs, pretty cool. Rock and Roll All Night, or what it's called.
Kiss are a little overrated as writers, but it's especially cringe when you look at their 80s catalog.
Maybe A.
And they just lean so obnoxiously hard into the sex appeal stuff that it becomes like campy misogyny. And I'm not using that as like, oh, I'm a millennial and I'm trying to be woke bullshit. Like, actually misogynist.
Okay. Yeah, this song is good too. Oh my god.
About Gene Simmons, I mean, he is a creepy, terrible piece of shit. I
It
struggle
did
to
look
think
a
of
little
anything
bit
redeeming
weird.
about Kiss in the 80s. All right, next up we got Manowar. Obviously in the
Manowar?
ST.
I haven't really listened to them. Isn't there like... I'm not going to say it because I'm not sure.
Here, what the fuck? More meme than band, let's be honest. Megadeth.
S-E-C-S.
When can we admit they aren't good at writing songs? Took them like
What?
2 or 3 decades to get a decent mix. A riff is only as good as the song it complements. Just saying. Merciful Fate. They have
Merciful Fate is a B.
creative riffs, unique solos, and King Diamond. When I heard Metallica's Merciful Fate medley, and then I got a copy of Merciful Fate for myself, I did instantly cringe when his vocals came in.
Yeah.
No one is intimidated by this. No one is scared. It's just fucking goofy. To any normal, well-adjusted person, that should be the appropriate response. Like, I can listen to King Diamond now and not have an issue. I get it enough. But man, for how creative some of the writing was, and in some regards progressive, honestly, holy fuck those vocals. Metallica going
Metallica is S-E-C.
on an S tier. If James Hetfield is the table, then Metal YouTube is the floor because they desperately want Papa Head on top of them. Motley Crue, the only band.
Motley Crue, probably A or B. B maybe.
Brave enough to say that they would indeed chub a bee. Star My Heart is a pretty fabulous song,
What?
not gonna lie. Going back and listening to more Motley Crue,
What?
I start to realize, no, Vince Neil has always kind of been cringe. But some of the riff writing, and especially some of the solos, pretty freaking tasty. And they were really good hook writers. Motorhead, just why?
Sure.
Why
Motorhead, yeah, same C. Probably same for me with C.
There's something I will never understand. Like, there's a whole cultural touchstone that this band revolves around that I just will never get. I don't fucking get it. Lemmy is God. What? Why the fuck even say that? Like, what has he done that's so interesting? He was blatantly honest and crude and flicked people off publicly. I do that. I'm not God. What the fuck makes Lemmy so special? His voice is like running a frog through a meat grinder, which
Oh
to
my
some is a
God.
compliment. If you listen to one Motorhead song, you've listened to the entire catalog. Worse offender than AC/DC. I don't
Yeah.
fucking get it. I have no hate for it. I just don't fucking understand. Ozzy Osbourne.
Ozzy is A. And it would have been B if not for Randy Rhoads' epic guitar work on those 2 albums. Yeah, Randy Rhoads is just too good to not be A.
He's like your aunt who works the Ren Fair and is way too into Halloween. Ozzy Osbourne's voice is very unique and instantly recognizable,
Yeah.
though I would not call him a great singer.
No, definitely not a great singer. He sounds like kind of monotonous.
He has some freaking outstanding writing chops, and he knows how to hire the best. He finds the best guitarists.
Yes, and Zach Wild too though.
He knows
Yeah,
how to
dude.
hire a great freaking metal band who can work really well together. I'm like really shocked because he's the only solo metal artist that I can think of who has done that so well. If I'm forgetting anyone, please
Sure.
let me know. He has an outstanding catalog the whole way through, but really put a strong mark in the 80s for sure. Frickin' Rat. Look, they got
Rat. They only got round and round, so D for me.
and round. They got
But they round and round, I don't really like that song that much.
the riff from Lay It Down. The rest of it is trash. The mixes are way too bright. Goodbye. Slayer.
Slayer is an A.
Basically, death before death existed. I've gone on and on about
Okay.
Slayer. I don't think they're
I
good
don't think
writers.
so.
They have some interesting riff ideas every so often. With the exception of Raining
Or
Blood,
maybe a little bit.
I have yet to be impressed by Slayer. Testament did
Testament is an A for me. I love Testament. Testament's so good. Alex Skolnick on guitar. Amazing solo guitarist. They have some awesome riffs.
didn't really get good until the 90s or the 2000s, in my opinion. A lot of
Okay,
their
fair enough.
earlier stuff is
Maybe for 80s list it would go lower, but I'm not really sure of the different eras.
especially through the 80s, was very rough sounding and not amazing writing, to be frank. They really got their game leveled up big time in the 90s and 2000s. Their production sounded great. They had some really cool writing. They had great riffs. Alex Skolnick is a monster. I would say their
Yep.
vocalist is even kind of a meme himself in a way. It's just a very unique, weird, dark, deep voice that's also gravelly. I have not quite heard a thrash vocalist like him. He friggin' kills.
He's
honestly.
good
When
as
Testament
fuck.
is on, it's so freaking good, and when it's off, it's so not good. Twisted Sister, you have
Twisted Sister, we're not gonna take it. It's a C for me. It's not really. We're not gonna take it. It's pretty cool, I guess, but that sound, I'm not sure.
two songs that are hits, and the rest is pretty lame. And Whitesnake. You know,
Whitesnake is pretty cool. Probably put them in an A.
there is actually something interesting about me looking a little further into Whitesnake's catalog. They actually started out in the late 70s, and that sound of like trying to be basically a hard rock, classic rock style band carried over for a hot while, and you can see a clear evolution into what would become their 1987 album, Whitesnake, self-titled, I believe. Which, like, hands down, that was their peak. Like, their biggest song being Here I Go Again, which is really weird, because I didn't realize that song came out in 1982, and that version of the song is not nearly as good. They, like, rearranged and re-recorded the song for that 1987 release, and that's the one that you know, the classic mega hit song. The original version of that from 1982, a little lame. Like, the composition's there, but the execution on the arrangement and performance front is like, it's like so deflating by comparison. Forget the guy's name, but Whitesnake's vocalist is very good. I'll definitely give him that. And they do have some great riffs and some decent writing throughout. I mean, some of it was great, but most of it's decent. The deeper I dive into Whitesnake's catalog, the more I realized I'm not missing a whole lot, but there's very little in there that I would actually call cringe. All right, there's my 80s metal rock band tier list right here. Read it and weep. Come over.
Pretty good, I guess. Just a few things that needs to be changed. Judas Priest, A. Guns N' Roses, A. Megadeth, S. And Slayer, A. Yeah, that's probably it.
These metal
Kiss, B, at least B.
rock band tier list right here. Read it and weep. Come over here to see another tier list. I don't know which one it is yet. I haven't done this until after editing. But see this tier list or die.
Okay, what a good video. I think his mic is so funny, and he makes so good videos. Do you do music reaction? Yeah, I'm kind of... sometimes I play music on stream, but it's not really allowed to. I could do some music reaction when new bands come out with new music, but I haven't done so much. I did one song by Leprous, but YouTube didn't allow me to post it, so I've stopped kind of reacting to music, but then I will try to do it more in the future, maybe just on stream. It's a rapper named Blady. I'll check it out. I'll just end the video. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and see you later.